Very difficult time. Very difficult time for us as a team to figure out what exactly my role was. I think on rare occasions, leadership is actually not inflaming, and leadership is actually not saying anything in the moment publicly. We did a lot of back channeling with Chief Delatorre. I think he again was heroic with the work he did, and if this had to happen, we were blessed to have that borough commander and Joe Veneziano as the precinct commander, because even the harshest critics of the police department praised Delatorre and Veneziano's handling. And the initial protest that everyone was concerned might get out of hand did not, in part because of the work Delatorre and Veneziano did with the clergy, and made sure that they had a very light footprint and had a relationship with the community, so that the community members were the marshals. And I think that for a long time, people didn't hear each other at all, and any conversation inflamed. A was not hearing what B had to say, and B was not hearing what A. And I struggle internally about, I don't want my voice to be part of that static that makes things worse. So I'm going to keep a low profile. I'm going to work behind closed doors. And so I have a little desk in my office with a picture of my father and some of his tools. So the Tuesday before the Garner decision came down, Bishop Brown was in my office again, and we were talking, and he was pushing for a pre-grand jury decision press conference that he wanted me to stand at with the Garner family. And I had some trepidations because I didn't want to seem like I was exploiting the Garner family. I had not met them. I went to the funeral, but I had not met them prior, and I didn't want to say, well, now the cameras are here and I want to be with them. And he said, let me handle that, and then said, would you meet with Mrs. Carr? And I said, sure. Would you meet with them tonight? Sure. We had the tree lighting. 7:30, calls me back, 7:30, they're going to come in. 7:20, they showed up. It was Gwen Carr, Ben Carr, an aunt, a cousin, and Cynthia Davis from the National Action Network. And the bishop and the chief of police were not there yet. I invited them in. Very anxious moment. Had not communicated with them. This woman lost her son. They came in and they sat down, and they looked around the building. The office is impressive. We were chit-chatting a little bit, and the nephew picked up this tool and was like, look at this. And Mrs. Carr's eyes lit up, and she said, that's a train operator's tool. And I looked at her and I said, my father was a motorman. She said, I'm a train operator. Where'd your father work? My father worked at Coney Island Yard. What years did your father work? He worked such and such years. He had the little concession stand. What's your father's name? John Oddo. She repeated the name Otto like she heard the name Otto for the first time. She knew my father. And from that moment on, the tension went out of the room. We spent 2 hours, right, Jason? 2 hours together talking. Chief Delatorre said it was the only time I think he's seen Ben Carr smile. It was a human moment, and we had a conversation. We talked about what they believed happened. It's a model for what we need to do. It's a model because the clergy was in the room with the PD. And is it going to happen on a grand scale? No, but you gotta start somewhere.